Today I'm picking up my shallow water John boat project today. I actually got the John boat. I'll show that to you here real quick. I don't think I've shown that to the channel yet, but I got this brand new Tracker Grizzly 14. I'll show that to you here quick. So there should be. I believe I was looking at the specs and it weighs like 160 pounds dry weight, which is kind of heavy, but I was thinking, like, I was kind of leaning towards a 12 footer for a while, but then I used this 12 footer out here, this little 12-foot John boat, and it was still kind of heavy. So I've come to the realization, I've just accepted the fact that, like, I'm not just going to drag whatever boat this is, whether it's a 12 or a 14 footer, and like the 12 footer in this model is only 30 pounds lighter. Whatever boat it is, it's going to need, you know, it's got, by the time I got a motor on it and the boat plus a blind and decoys and everything, I'm not just going to horse it onto the trailer and off the trailer. So I'm going to need some extra launching tools or what have you. So I'm going to show you today what my plan is and start implementing that. So this is the trailer, and we just have this utility trailer. Like, we use it for hauling kayaks, just whatever we need it for. If we're going camping and want to haul like some extra firewood and coolers and stuff like that. It's supposed to be 14 feet long, but like the deck of it doesn't actually work out to be truly 14 feet long. I found this out when I went and bought the boat, and it was a couple of inches too short. So my plan, it was kind of frustrating because, like, at first I was looking at like extending off the deck, but that's going to be a huge pain. So what I'm actually going to do is the front gate is actually only held on. This is actually an old boat trailer. So we homemade this, and it used to be a boat trailer, but we wanted to use it for more things than just a boat. We wanted to use it for, like I said, kayaks. We wanted to use it for camping, all that good stuff. So it used to be a boat trailer. What I'm going to do is, this trailer is only a few inches too short, and the front sideboards, or the front boards, are only held on by a total of 6 carriage bolts. There's 2, 4, 6. I'm just going to take this off. That'll make the trailer long enough, and I should be able to. This rope is obviously, you know, not functional, but I'm going to fix that. You got a whole other plan for this. I'll get to that in just a second. But that should give me, you know, a good, I don't know what the distance is there, 1.5 feet, something like that, 14 inches. I only needed a couple of inches. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take this front gate off first, and that way I should be able to actually put the boat on. Now, the boat's kind of heavy, so my plan is to get rid of this winch. Just, I don't know, just chop it off. My nephew is a welder. He's going to help me out, I think, with the welding aspect. But we'll weld another piece of block on here, probably put it up a little higher, and then from Harbor Freight you can get a 2,500 pound remote controlled electric winch. And my goal would be get an electric winch on here, so this way if I go and launch somewhere on that shallow water John boat, which is my goal, I want to launch where there's not a boat ramp. If I go to launch somewhere and I don't want to drag the thing all the way up, I'll have winch that I can winch it onto here. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do this either, but something that I'm thinking about. I might chop this gate down, just one more board. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to anyway. But I'm thinking about, in the middle, getting larger U-bolts and getting like 1-inch PVC and running the 1-inch PVC kind of from the bottom up to here, and doing that just on this other one as well. And that's going to make kind of like runners. It's going to be like simulated bunks, but they're not really going to be in the way. And then I'm going to put the like connectors. I don't know if I want to do a 2-way or 3-way connector yet, where I can store extra PVC with me and extend. It basically be like extending the bunks out, you know, whatever, 8-10 feet. So if I can't get that boat, you know, the trailer all the way to the boat because of mud or because of just lack of access, I just got to position it up by this 2-inch PVC. And then it'll kind of ride up, you know, up the gate a little bit, up the PVC just a little bit, being pulled by the winch that'll be up there. And that'll take some of the friction out of it, and then it should load easier. That's my thought. I'm not 100% sure if that's going to work. I'm not 100% sold on that, but I'm real curious to try it, so I might do that. But for right now, I'm just going to take the front off of here. And then, the next thing, this boat is kind of hard to maneuver, especially for one guy. I want it to be a one person. I want it to haul 2 people, which it should be more than comfortable to do. Haul 2 people and hunt 2 guys. if I've got another guy that wants to go, but be maneuverable just by myself. So I actually saw this idea from this channel called The Woodsman, where he made a John boat dolly. I was thinking about getting like those dinghy wheels that you can get on Amazon, or like the sea tugs that you bolt onto the back of your transom, and like the wheels will flip down, or like they'll come off and you can put them in the boat. But if you follow my channel for a while, I have a little bit of PTSD about drilling holes in my transom because we sunk the boat doing that once. I don't really want to necessarily drill holes in the transom. I was really wanting to avoid that, but I need something I can wheel this around with, especially because I'm not using a conventional boat trailer to transport this. It'll be going on and off the utility trailer. So this idea from this channel called The Woodsman, he just made a boat dolly. He got like, it was a piece of 2x6 measured to the bottom width of the back of the boat. And there's these 10-inch, like these are huge caster wheels, but you got these 10-inch casters from Harbor Freight. So I went to Harbor Freight yesterday and picked up a couple of those with, you know, the lag screws, washers. I've got some 2x6, and then he puts eye bolts on either side of the board, and then like ratchet straps into these eye bolts so that he can use that on the back of the John boat like a dolly, pick up the front, and then just dolly the John boat around. And hopefully I can be able to get this not only move it around on the property, but hopefully we'll be able to load and unload a little bit easier. So I'm going to start those projects right now. I got the bolts off of the front piece, so I can just now set this front piece aside for a second. Well, it was still bolted on. I did put the stake pocket up to this middle board, and I marked the screw holes of the stake pocket. So it's, you can barely see it, but I marked it in pen here and here and here and there. So I'm going to screw the stake pocket on. That way I should be able to just slap this front gate right back on. Now at least the boat should physically fit on the trailer. I've got that on. So now the front gate is actually removable, which is great because, like I said, this used to be an old boat trailer. So I can probably still use it as such. You know, I got to do something different with that. But like I said, we're going to rethink this whole winch system anyhow. So I can take the front gate on and off. Now the next thing I want to do is make it a lot easier to move my John boat around, both on the property, but also, you know, getting it on the trailer, off the trailer, and then to the water. So to do that, I'm going to make the dolly wheels. All right, this board, 4 feet exactly. It's supposed to be a 1436, so it should be like 36 inches across at the bottom. So yeah, across the bottom. Yeah, I mean, indeed, really 36 inches, so across the top, it's only going to be about 48, maybe 50 inches at the top, which is fine. That 4-foot board might be about right. The idea is you're going to screw those eye bolts in right here, and then you're going to ratchet strap, you know, across the top of the boat to the other end. So I want to be able to have like some good tension on the boat. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm just going to cut a couple inches off that board. Yeah, I'm just going to cut, like I said, just a couple inches here. All right, and then for the next part, I've got these caster wheels. I've got 2 of them. Probably drill my pilot holes and then lag screw them on. Something like that. Do the same thing on the other side because, you know, it's the same wheel. So, see if I got a T30 star drive in here. My nephew Calvin got me this like drill bit set for Christmas, and I was like, I don't know for sure that I'm going to use that. But I'll tell you what, I'm for sure using it. Oh, there's the socket that I needed earlier. I went on a wild goose chase for a 1/2-inch socket, like all through my house. I was starting to think that we didn't have any, and I was going to have to go to the hardware store, get a 1/2-inch socket. It's right here with the other bits, with the other, you know. bad boy around. All right, I think that those are on there pretty solidly. So, got lag screws and washers. I just used number 14 1.5-inch lag screws. I did not want to punch through a 2x4 and have little pokey ends sticking out, scraping up the bottom of my boat. Washers, just 5/16 inch galvanized. Somebody please tell me why that was the wrong pick. Next thing is I'm just going to put these eye bolts in the end here. And yes, this is why earlier I said I needed a grinder. That's what I did with my chop saw. Whatever, it'll hold. Okay, these are the eye hooks I've got, and they're just going to screw pretty much right in the middle. Again, I'm not really going to like measure an exact measurement. I'm just going to eyeball the middle. It's getting in there. That's good. I want it good and tight, obviously. So it's not the prettiest thing, but I think it's gonna work. I just need to air these tires up. I got the eye bolts in there. I got the 10-inch casters on my air compressor right here. We're just gonna put a shot of air in these tires. Okay, now it's gonna be moment of truth here. I'm gonna find a ratchet strap real quick. I'm gonna put this baby back by back of the John boat. Find a strap. Hope I did this right. We'll see. I've been looking forward to this because there's a lot of places that you can pull up, and man, if you could, there's no boat ramp, like official boat ramp, but if you could get a boat, 100 yards, to the water on your own, with motor power, not just a kayak, then man, you'd be in business with a lot of stuff, both fishing and hunting. So this is definitely gonna help this shallow water kind of go anywhere boat, get to where I can launch it without having to have an official, boat ramp. Please stay put, boat. Please stay put. I think I got that baby on there tight enough. Please work. Please work. Should be really easy to just pick it up by the handle. Too bad. That ain't too bad. I mean, it's kind of heavy, but if I could do something with this handle, that's the worst part of it. And I'm gonna just put a rope here, so that way I can kind of walk backwards and pick it up with both hands, grab it by the rope. Dude, that'd be money. So this is not so great. I was trying to see, will this dolly go over bumps? And it went down the concrete bump just fine. Trying to pull it back up and yank the eye bolt out of the wood. So I don't know if I can salvage that piece of lumber or not. I sure hope I can salvage it. I wonder if I can just even though it'll be off center, if I can just put it in right there. Okay, I got that eyelet reattached. Again, it's off center, so it looks, janky, but that's kind of my option for not completely restarting this project, I think, because I'd probably have to at least take this wheel off and at least cut the board there and move everything over, which could still be feasible, but I'm gonna try this first because this is easier, and if this doesn't work, then I'll do that. And I was wondering about this eye bolts, like the screw threads on them were a little thicker than what I wanted, but I couldn't find like the length that I wanted and the thickness that I wanted when I was at the store, and so that's what I went with. So I'd probably go with a little bit thinner thread on those, but we'll see. So anyway, that's what I got. I'm gonna try this again. I just gotta remember, don't go over bumps. Well, that's a little bit better. Actually a little easier than I thought so far. I just picked up the front end and, you know, picked it up over the trailer with the wheels still on it. And now I can kind of pick up the back end and sort of slide it a little bit. Probably actually easier to pull from the front, I don't know. But not horrible, not horrible. It would be nice if I had a functional winch. I mean, so far they're working okay. It's just getting them on the boat is the hardest part, honestly. I just kind of want to see if I can pull this up. I mean, it didn't need much room, but really I could almost, again, I'm going to redo this whole thing, but I could do like a carpeted 2x4, like how they normally do on flat bottoms. And then have, you know, you'd almost have this winch still in place, or take this winch off, do the carpeted 2x4, and still use the electric winch, maybe mount the battery box down here, kind of like I was thinking. Not sure if that'd work or not. I'm sure I could fit a battery box down there at least. And then, what do I got for room back here? I got a mile now. That's lovely. So now I could easily close this up. Okay, well, I've solved the boat won't fit on the trailer problem. So I just have this motor on here for demonstration purposes. For those wondering, this is a Beaver Dam Mud Runner. It's their small kit. It's a 6.6 Predator engine. I think that mounting bracket's even on there backwards. I have to undo it and flip it, but it doesn't matter. The point is that this is what I saw last time when I was test driving. I'll link up to this video when I test drove this motor on this small V-bottom boat. Is the gate is going to be a problem. Now, the boat's going to be scooted forward further, but this is where I'm also thinking about chopping this layer off here. I chopped that top part of the gate off, and honestly, it looks a little bit better anyway. Handle will stick out a little bit, but that'll be just fine. It'll be secured up here. I do need to make some kind of a wood wedge for the skeg on the mud motor. We're getting there. Now I can actually sort of think about trying to haul this boat. This scenario is going to have to change, but that's all right. We'll get there. We'll get there. So anyway, that's all I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to pick it up another day and continue on with this project. Quick update on the Dolly. So I had this idea that if I put these, like, you know, pieces of deck board on, that the Dolly may not flip forward when I'm trying to put the boat on the Dolly. So I'm going to try it like this, and then I had the thought, if I had another 2x6 and I ran it across here and put a third caster wheel, I could make it kind of a 3-wheeler. If I wanted to be cheap, I mean, I could buy 2 more wheels, make it a 4-wheeler. But I should be fine with having it as a 3-wheel, having a third wheel in the center. And then this thing won't roll at all, and I should be able to scoot the boat up on this thing a lot easier. So, but I'm going to try it like this and see if that helps any. Okay, so I've got the ratchet straps hooked in. It's not all the way tightened down. I should be able to hopefully kick that up. And now the weight of the boat is keeping the Dolly upright. I hope. I think I've made the thing work. I think I've made it work. Just a note, I don't want to tighten these down too bad, because then, you know, they'll yank out of the board. But I think I've made this thing work.